Ever wondered about the terms of acceptance and contractual obligations of ULC Trust Schedule A? Well, sit tight, because today we're going to unravel the mysteries surrounding this legal document. ULC Trust Schedule A is a comprehensive set of terms and conditions that governs a wide range of contractual relationships. It's actually a part of the ULC Trust Agreement that outlines specific terms and conditions for the parties involved. The document outlines everything from agreement specifics to the nature of charges payable. And while the language may seem a bit daunting at first glance, don't worry. This video is designed to break all down for you, one term at a time. In this fast-paced world, understanding the fine print is more important than ever. That's why we're here to help you navigate the ins and outs of ULC Trust Schedule A. So grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and relax. Let's dive in and start decoding these terms. First, we have the terms of acceptance. But what does that mean exactly? Well, in the context of ULC Trust Schedule A, it refers to certain conditions you agree to by using or performing any actions outlined in the document. Let's break it down. The first point is agreement with all terms and conditions stipulated herein. What this means is that by engaging with Schedule A, you are agreeing to all the terms and conditions laid out in the document. It's similar to when you click I agree on a terms of service agreement online. You're saying, yes, I've read this, I understand it, and I'm okay with what it says. The second point is unreserved acceptance of charges payable stipulated in Schedule A. This is a bit of a mouthful, but it's actually pretty simple. It means that by agreeing to the terms, you accept the charges listed in Schedule A without any reservations. So if there's a charge you're not okay with, you should reconsider before agreeing to these terms. The third and final point says, respondent irrevocably and unconditionally waives any and all rights of objection, immunities, or defenses. This one's a bit heavy, so let's break it down. Essentially, by agreeing to the terms, you're giving up any right to object to the terms later on. You're also waiving any immunities or defenses you might have had. It's a bit like saying, I won't change my mind later, and I won't try to find a loophole to get out of these terms. Now, it's crucial to remember that these terms of acceptance aren't just words on a page. They're legal and contractual obligations that you're agreeing to when you engage with ULC Trust Schedule A. So it's essential to understand what you're agreeing to before you take that step. These are the terms you're accepting when agreeing to Schedule A. The currency in Schedule A might not be what you expect. The document stipulates that the currency is local to the country in which it is served. So if it's served in Japan, the currency would be yen. In the United States, it would be dollars. But here's the twist. This currency is then to be converted into what are called kindness credits. So what exactly are these kindness credits? Well, they're a concept, a way of measuring value, not in cold hard cash, but in acts of kindness, generosity, and goodwill. They serve as a reminder that our actions and how we treat others have a value that can't be quantified by traditional financial systems. They might not be accepted at your local supermarket, but their worth is immeasurable in the grand scheme of human interaction and connection. Remember, kindness counts. Now, let's talk about the charges. They're not as scary as they might seem. Firstly, let's discuss claims absent a lawfully binding contract, which includes intellectual property theft or copyright infringement. For these types of infractions, the charge is £20,000 per calendar month. This hefty price tag underscores the importance of abiding by contractual agreements and respecting intellectual property rights. Next, we have the charges for enforcing or attempting to enforce any instrument from a foreclosed entity. This will cost you £3,000. Similarly, attempting to enforce a judgment from a court also carries a charge of £10,000. This reiterates the significance of maintaining legal integrity and ensuring you are operating within the law. Engaging any third-party service without a lawful contract also carries a charge of £10,000. This highlights the necessity of having formal agreements in place before seeking external assistance. Breach of privacy is another significant charge. For each instance, including any form of communication addressed to anyone other than the proponent, the charge is £1,000. This emphasizes the importance of respecting privacy and maintaining appropriate communication channels. Unlawful threats, both physical and non-physical, also carry substantial charges. Any threat of prosecution, restraint, bodily harm, or legal action is charged at £10,000. This reminds us of the importance of maintaining a respectful and non-threatening environment. Unlawful physical harm, including restraining the proponent or inflicting bodily harm, carries a charge of £2 million. This underscores the severity of physical violence and the heavy penalties it carries. Unlawful, repairable damage to the proponent's property or goods, instigated by the respondent, carries a charge of £10,000. Similarly, irreparable damage or destruction is charged at the same rate. This underlines the importance of respecting others' property. Unlawful actions such as kidnapping, forced ingestion of pharmaceutical drugs, statutory rape, and trafficking carry the heaviest charge of all at £50 million. This illustrates the severity of these crimes and the hefty penalty they carry. Next, the unlawful claim of ownership of the proponent's property or goods, including but not limited to sale or auction and removal of rights or assets, carries a charge of £20,000. This emphasizes the importance of respecting others' property rights. Lastly, any action against a third party, not party to the terms and conditions, that causes harm to the proponent, including but not limited to damage of the proponent's measurable energy, carries a charge of £20,000. This reiterates the importance of respecting the rights and well-being of all parties involved. These charges are integral to understanding your obligations under Schedule A. So you've got the hang of the current terms and conditions, but what if they change? Well, that's something we all need to keep in mind. The ULC Trust Schedule A, like many other legal documents, is not set in stone. Yes, you heard it right. The terms and conditions may change at any time. You might wonder, what happens then? Here's the deal. If and when the terms change, the respondent will be offered new terms. These new terms would not be an addition or an amendment to the existing ones. Instead, they supersede the old ones, replacing them completely. This means that the old terms and conditions are no longer applicable. Instead, the respondent's actions and obligations will be governed by the new terms. This could affect the respondent in various ways, depending on the nature of the changes. Always be on the lookout for changes to the terms and conditions. We've covered a lot of ground today, so let's quickly recap. Today, we delved into the intricate details of the ULC Trust Schedule A, a document that outlines the terms of acceptance and contractual obligations. We've learned that using or performing any of the actions set out in the document constitutes acceptance of all terms and conditions, including unreserved acceptance of charges payable as outlined in Schedule A. The currency in use is local to the country in which the document is served, but it has an interesting twist. It's to be converted into kindness credits, a unique approach that ties into the ethos of the ULC Trust. We've also explored the various charges outlined in Schedule A, which range from claims absent a lawfully binding contract, including intellectual property theft or copyright infringement, to unlawful actions such as physical harm, privacy breaches, and more. These charges are substantial, highlighting the seriousness of the obligations under the ULC Trust. It's important to note that collection fees for any unpaid invoices are additional, and without a lawfully binding contract in place, any fee, charge, or invoice levied on an incremental basis, including those containing any interest component, will be treated as though a separate incidence. Finally, we discussed how the terms and conditions of the ULC Trust Schedule A can change at any time. Respondents will be offered new terms that will supersede any previous ones. This underscores the importance of staying up to date with the latest changes and developments. Remember, understanding your obligations under ULC Trust Schedule A can help you navigate your financial future. Keep asking questions, keep learning, and you'll be a pro in no time.